right, so we got 2 front wheels going.
Wow!
Yeah, baby.
Rat Haven.
Look at that. All right, what's up, guys? It's been a while. I've been really busy doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm in the shop now full time. So that means I gotta work on other stuff other than the bus. But check it out. Bam. Hey guys, just wanted to give a thanks for all of the support here the last 2 or 3 weeks. My channel has been going really good. Getting a bunch of new views and subscribers, and there goes the AC. Yeah, baby! It's a brisk 47 degrees out right now, so it's actually the heat going. Hello, Gavin.
What's up?
What's up? All right, we are working on the seal action on here. Getting this thing sealed up. So this has all just been kind of evolving here. So I just welded that guy on there, and that's gonna be where the seal is gonna ride there, and then I'm gonna have to have another one down under there, and then the seal will be like wah, 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 wah. So it's gonna have this perimeter all the way around, top and bottom. All right, so I'm about 80% done with this seal project here that I'm kind of going to show here in this episode, because I made some mistakes, and so I thought I would end up making an episode out of this, and just to kind of show what I'm dealing with and something that I learned. But basically, along the bottom edge there is a little flange, bottom ring of flange. And then there's a flange around this one. This is the whole cradle that goes up and down that whole tub sheet metal sits on, that raises and lowers with the bus. So anyways, I got this little bellows seal. The seal basically gets pressed on like that. All right. And then it's on the bottom one. So there's like a minimum compression that it can go. And then it stretches out, so it kind of does that. So as the bus raises, whoosh, whoosh, this actually sits like this, and then it's just, so that would be lowered. And then as it raises up, it can go up about like that. So I'm about maxing out the stretch and maxing out the compression on it. But what I found is here in the front, you can see that this edge here is offset from this one. And so this was kind of what I learned on this, was that my plan was to have this seal kind of at an angle like that, and then it would just kind of and that's fine if it was just one piece. But because I'm bending it around the corner, what happens is when this is bending around the corner, it really needs to be straight up and down. When this goes at an angle out front like this, it kind of is okay on one bend, but then when I get around to this back bend, it's actually angled like down at an angle instead of straight, and so it didn't really work. So I'm hacking this off, and I'm going to make an extension on this so that this is more aligned straight up and down with this bottom one. So basically I got to hack this off and redo all of this, and I'm going to make this extend out about 1 inch, and then it'll pretty much solve the issue. So basically I made this flange down here, comes around, goes along the back. This piece here still has to get welded in, and then there's one down there. You can kind of see the spot welds here, and then it kind of comes around the front. I got to make the piece for there, and then the top piece, we added this piece. This piece is going to go along the back like that. All right, so this is what I'm talking about here. So this is all in. And this is coming around, and now when you come around this bend, for me to make, this has to be like pretty much straight down like that. But I was trying to bring it up this much farther. Not that much, it's only about 1.5 inches. But that kind of changes that angle, and then it throws the seal down like that, instead of it staying straight, like horizontal. Kind of hard to explain, but anyways, so I'm gonna add some to these corners, a bigger radius on these two bottom corners, and I'm gonna extend this out, and that should solve that. So of course the disadvantage of using the shear is your pieces end up all twisty like this. See, this thing is like a total pretzel here. Kind of pre-straighten it out. Stick it in here. But when you put it in the bender, they should pretty much straighten back out. So if you're going to be bending them, it doesn't really matter. Bam. So that pretty much squares it back up. Such a handy tool. Get yourself one of these, guys. I'll have a link in the description, as they say. Link in the description. Bam. And now I'm just going to take these pliers and I'm going to carefully pick my line here, and I'm just going to start tipping this edge over. Really don't have any other way to do it. If you're doing this kind of work, get yourself some of these offset snips. See how they're different size, different heads, two different ways. Makes a big difference. Somebody asked me on Instagram or something, you know, how do you know how to do this? And my answer was, I don't. I just want to do it. And so over the years, I have an idea and I want to do it, and then I just do it and I figure it out. And you know, you make mistakes and you just fix it and you just keep on trucking. And you know, be willing to you know, start over, be willing to make that mistake and you know, try again, as we all make them. And nobody started out being an expert at anything. You know, they say you gotta play guitar for, what is it, 1,000 or 10,000 hours? I think it's 10,000. 10,000 hours before you're, you know, an expert guitar player or violin player or you know, a metal shaper, you know. So you just gotta plug away at it, and then eventually you'll start getting the results that you're looking for. That'll be better anyway, so it'll give me more tire clearance here. And that is turned, yeah. A lot more clearance. That did move it out farther though, so now this hood has to come out farther. All right, so here's a quick tip for you. I'm just kind of piecing this corner here together that's going to go on here. So we have a nice, two reasons why I got this curve. One, for the seal, and then two, just to make sure it's got clearance on the lid that goes on there. But you know, I don't have to make this piece perfect. So I just had it kind of overlapped, tacked it in two spots, and then I just hit it with the grinder real quick. And now it fits perfect, right? So I fit it with the grinder, and then I'll just go along and weld, you know, give it a quick weld on there, and it'll be done. So there's what the inside looks like. So this is upside down, it goes like this, and that seal is going to be mounted up in there, and that's what's going to waterproof this whole box here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give this a quick welding right here on the old bus workbench. So there it is, down and dirty, baby. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's ever gonna see this except for you guys. All right, so I got this guy clamped in. I gotta make a little filly piece for right there, but we can see my curve is much bigger and they're almost stacked on top of each other now. So there's a curve underneath this one here. So I think it's ready to go in. One thing I'm worried about is this edge here hitting the piece that goes on. So I'm going to just tack it, and I'm going to have to throw that big ass piece back on and make sure it seats. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this kind of content here with the bus build, if you could hit that like button and hit the follow button, subscribe button, whichever platform you're on, and follow along on the journey trying to build this channel. So I appreciate it. Let's get back to work. This is the seal I'm using, this Bellows seal that goes from about 1.5 inches to about 4.5, 5 inches. I'm only moving 3.5, so it's just about perfect. The seal just has like the little metal inside the seal, and you just kind of push it along that edge, and it just kind of crimps on there. I had someone say the other day that, oh, you should patent that, this whole thing, and I'm like, well, I think patents are for things that you can like make thousands or millions of an item and protect it, but like, who the hell's gonna do this? Because this is crazy. Like, what idiot would want to try to copy this? Still got a little bit messed up over here. And if it's not exactly, like it looks really good right here. Man, nothing is ever easy. Nothing is ever easy. Everything is a challenge. And I guess that's why we do it, because we must like challenge. But let's try to run it through its paces here. So there's the suspension all the way down. You can see here how it's going to squish. Yeah. So it's just like a little accordion. Trying to not let the bus fall off the lift here, so I kind of call like this kind of stuff rough fabrication, kind of like the rough framers on a house. We have kind of the down and dirty, get it done kind of stuff, and then you know the sheet metal work and all that is kind of your finished carpentry stuff. So it's, you know, I'm not concerned about looks on a lot of these welds and stuff because nobody's ever going to see them. It's not part of the, it's the function part, right? So, but yeah, so that's how it works. Bellows. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I appreciate everybody watching. I got a lot of new followers here in the last month. We had actually hit 1 million views in the last 30 days on the channel, and about 700-800 new followers, subscribers. So that's awesome. Hello, everybody. So anyways, I'm going to get the other side done and then get this pan back on here just to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's going to clear. And then I can move on to get that deck lid fit. So let's keep moving on this. I did this side first, passenger side, and after doing the driver's side, I realized that I'm going to have to pretty much redo this whole passenger side. As far as these rails go that I put in to hold the expandable seal. And they end up being too close together, and so what happens is when this moves down and that seal squishes together, it doesn't have enough room and actually lifts this whole thing up, or it keeps it from going down all the way. So I'm gonna have to cut out all of my spot welds, not on the top row but the bottom row, and move that bottom row down about 3/8 of an inch and redo this. You can see how farther that one sticks out compared to this one. So I realize that needs to come out more. You can see that one has the seal in it right now and works pretty good. So I get to redo this side, or redo something again. Let's go. If you've ever used one of these little spot weld drills, it's like a little annular cutter. It's really hard to use. It's got a little retractable pin in the middle. So what I just did as an experiment was used a little 1/16 inch drill bit, drilled the center of the spots out first, and then put this on there. Works really good. It helps keep that guide pin on there. Get you done. Guys, check it out. The bellows are in place. We'll do a final trim of this when we do the final install, and this will get glued together. So I left it a little long, but that way any water splashing up from the wheel will, get sealed in there. It might not be totally perfect, all said and done, but we'll have like some, what do they call that dope tape along here when we put the shell back on. And yeah, so that's what it looks like. Oh yeah. What do you think of that, Joe? All right, I thought I'd give you an underside look here of the Bellows seal. Oh, that'll be glued together there when it's final. And I think I'm probably gonna put another liner in here, like another piece of sheet metal, like a double. So if rocks or something fly up, it doesn't dent this panel that you'd see from the top side. So I'll probably run a piece from like here up, you know, and give it like a little 1/8 inch space or something. For a little something something, but that is it. Let's go, baby. I guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Keep following along. It's gonna be a little slower on the bus videos because I got that 65 Continental that's coming in to do coyote swap and suspension work, so the bus is gonna be a little slow, but I'll try to keep them coming at least once a month. Peace.